Scientists discovered that people who love a tidy home have a fundamentally different brain response to their environment. And once you understand why, everything about yourself finally makes sense. Have you ever noticed how some people feel genuinely alive the moment they start cleaning? The sound of drawers sliding shut, the fresh smell of laundry, the quiet satisfaction of watching a room transform. And to most people, that is just cleaning. But to you, it means something deeper. It feels like therapy, like breathing again, like coming home to yourself. Today, we're going to talk about exactly that. Why do some people love organizing their home? What is really happening inside the mind when someone feels calm just looking at a tidy room? And why does it feel so satisfying, almost healing? If that sounds like you, stay with me, because what you are about to hear might explain more about yourself than you expected. Drop your opinion in the comments right now if cleaning is your therapy. I read every single one. Let us start with something important that most people misunderstand. Loving to organize is not about being neat. It is about control in a world that constantly feels out of control. Psychologists call this personal agency, the deep human need to feel power over your own life. When everything around you feels uncertain or heavy, cleaning becomes a quiet way to build order on the outside. The mind says, if I can make this small space peaceful, maybe everything else will feel okay too. That is why after an argument or during the most stressful seasons of life, many people suddenly start rearranging furniture or organizing closets. It is not random behavior. It is emotional regulation in action. Your body's doing something real to change how you feel inside. Here's where science gets fascinating. Every time you tidy something, fold a shirt, wipe a counter, arrange a shelf, your brain releases dopamine. That is the feel-good chemical that tells your brain you did something right, something meaningful. That is why even the smallest act of organizing can leave you feeling surprisingly lighter and prouder than the task deserves. Your brain is literally celebrating every small piece of order you create. You may not notice it consciously, but your brain does, every single time. And this is not just a feeling. Studies show that a tidy environment lowers cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. Your breathing slows, your shoulders drop, your mind settles. The order does not just look good, it physically changes your body's stress response. A tidy home sends the mind quiet signals of safety and stability. Clutter, on the other hand, gently triggers anxiety because it feels like unfinished business. Every item out of place silently whispers, you still have things to handle. For people who feel things deeply, that whisper becomes noise. So they organize not to impress anyone. They organize to silence that inner noise. It is their way of finding calm in a loud world. There is also something powerful about the process itself. Organizing is predictable. You know how it begins and you know how it ends. There is a clear cause and effect. You move something, it looks better. That kind of certainty is rare in emotional life, where people and outcomes are often complicated and messy. So when someone says cleaning makes me happy, what they often mean is, it is one of the few things in life that actually makes sense. But not everyone who loves organizing is trying to escape chaos. For many people, it is a form of self-expression. Their home is their mirror. The way they arrange books, place plants, or fold towels is not only about tidiness, it is about beauty. It is their way of creating art through space. Psychologists connect this to something called environmental self-identity, the idea that our surroundings reflect who we are at our core. So when someone spends an afternoon making their home beautiful, it is not vanity, it is communication. It is saying, this is what peace looks like for me. This is who I am. Some people experience cleaning as a form of mindfulness, and science supports this completely. The rhythm of sweeping, the flow of water, the pattern of sorting, these repetitive physical actions slow down racing thoughts. In those quiet moments, you stop thinking about yesterday or worrying about tomorrow. You simply exist. Your hands move. Your senses wake up. Your mind stays present. This is active meditation, without needing to sit still or close your eyes. That is also why after cleaning, many people feel suddenly inspired to cook, write, or begin something creative. A clear space gives the mind permission to dream again. Because clutter does not only fill rooms, it fills mental space too. Here's something deeper that most people never talk about. There's often emotional history behind the love of a tidy home. People who grew up in unpredictable environments where emotions were unstable or life felt uncertain often find deep comfort in physical order as adults. Psychologists describe this as a coping pattern shaped by early emotional environments. A clean space gives them the stability they may never have had growing up. It becomes a silent promise. Here I am safe. Here I decide what happens. For others, cleaning may have been linked to pressure or criticism in childhood, where a mess meant punishment or shame. Those people may connect tidying with stress rather than peace and unconsciously avoid it. It is not laziness. It is an emotional memory. The past quietly shapes our relationship with order in ways we rarely see clearly. Some people use organizing as emotional language. They may not say, "I'm overwhelmed," "I'm anxious," "I'm sad." Instead, they start cleaning. It is their way of coping without words. When they scrub, they release emotion. When they rearrange, they reset their energy. Psychologists call this somatic regulation, expressing feelings through physical movement instead of speech. That is why wiping a surface until it shines feels like more than cleaning. Something else is being removed too. Tension, heaviness, the weight of a difficult day. And then there is the symbolic meaning that lives inside decluttering. Every item you sort, donate, or throw away can represent a quiet emotional release, a small choice to move forward. That is why decluttering can feel surprisingly emotional. You're not just removing objects. You're rewriting a small piece of your life story. When you let go of old clothes, broken things, or unused gifts, you are quietly saying, "I no longer need this version of me." That is powerful. That is healing, hiding inside something as ordinary as housekeeping. So the next time you find yourself folding laundry with a smile or rearranging a shelf for the third time just because it feels right, do not dismiss it as a small habit or a quirk. It is self-care. It is emotional intelligence expressed through action. It is your mind and body working together to create something your soul needs: peace, clarity, and a sense of belonging. Because organizing is not really about things. It is about how you want to feel. Every shelf you tidy, every drawer you calm, every space you transform is a reflection of how you choose to live inside. And maybe that is the most beautiful truth of all. Peace is not something you find. It is something you create, sometimes with a broom in your hand and soft music playing in the background. If this video spoke to you, share it with someone who finds peace in a tidy home. They will know exactly what it means. Tell me in the comments, when your space is clean and calm, how does it make you feel? I would love to read your story. If you want more videos about the psychology behind everyday habits and the way our minds work, subscribe. There's so much more coming that I think you will love. See you in the next one.